Howdy there folks, this is Lapidary Dave, and in this video I'm going to share with you folks a quickie that I filmed during my trip to Savannah, Georgia during their St. Patrick's Day events. I guess Savannah, Georgia has the third largest St. Patrick's Day celebration in the United States. It definitely was a blast. While I was there, somebody said I had to go check out this JW Marriott. They have a huge selection of cool materials and crystals, minerals, all that good stuff. This is the entrance. I'm doing an overdub right here because for some reason my first 3 clips didn't have audio, which is weird, but whatever. Right when you walk in, you see this big heat-treated amethyst to make it look like a citrine. It is heat-treated, but it's actually fantastic. Whoever's going around buying the specimens and crystals and all that stuff for this Marriott is doing a spectacular job. There's nothing in here that isn't just awesome. Even these run-of-the-mill Uruguay giant cathedrals are pretty stunning compared to others that you might see at Village Originals or something. I think they did a really good job. At this showcase, there's a few of these cathedrals that actually have the corners of the cathedrals kind of rounded over and polished over. I think that looks really cool. This piece has its sides rounded over and rolled over and polished. I don't see that very often, but it looks great. Yeah, I was walking around filming, and I had a bunch of people following me around like if I was some kind of tour guide, which was kind of cute and embarrassing at the same time. I think I filmed everything twice. I did a live and then went back and did this edited version. That is a cool polished eye from a sliced crystal from when they opened it up. Really cool. This video is a little shaky compared to my other videos because I was using an app that did a digital stabilization because I didn't have my gimbal on me. But still had a lot of fun, and I hope you enjoy. I was showing off these plugs, that rounded part right there on the back of these cathedrals. Sometimes you don't see those on cathedrals, and what those are where they drilled into a really large cathedral to find out where should they slice the cathedral, where on the stone they should slice it. On cheaper cathedrals, you just cut it for size, but these ones, they want to know what's inside, what kind of secondary crystals are in there, secondary minerals. So they drill it and put a camera in there, and then they cover it up with the backing formula. You can still see the scratches. Check out the brontosaurus. Some kind, whatever it's casted in. It looks really good. I don't mind that it's metallic. I didn't see those pterodactyls earlier either. There's some good stories that the Native American thunderbird that you hear in Arizona, the Hopi, the Zuni, and the Dene talk about the thunderbirds. Some people think that they're actually pterodactyls that survived. The stories talk about them having a pointed crest, alligator skin with a beak and wings like a bat. That kind of sounds like a pterodactyl. And what's also pretty cool, they claim there's some pictures taken around the time of the Civil War. I'll put those pictures up here in the video now. But some people say those have been debunked. Look at that chandelier. That's cool. Those crystals are definitely shaped. Those aren't natural, but it looks really good. They might even be glass. Man, somebody has some nice cologne. Look at that, right in the ground. I didn't even notice it before when I was doing it live. That's brilliant. You can definitely stand on it. It sketches me out. I don't want to be the one to break it. Is that a mosasaur? Spinodon? A lot of these are castings, and then they actually add the teeth. You see that done in Morocco a lot. I don't know if this one is or not. I mean, the billionaire who runs this stuff definitely can afford the real deal. That's brilliant. You put one of these in your kitchen. Have all your friends come over for dinner. These are pretty neat. The light is really messing it up. Just big composite stone. I guess gemscape, right? Similar to what Z is doing out of Tucson, Arizona. Some nice Brazilian agate, I believe. Perhaps this is Botswanian material from Botswana. Bot agate looks really good. So it's a little warped because I'm in like the wide camera. This one is just iron included quartz, but it looks really good. They're not, they're not terminated and then cut. Just practically landscape rock, but it looks really good together. It's probably $200 worth of rock, but as an art piece, easily $10, $15, $20, $25,000 for $200, $300 worth of landscape rock cut up. This I thought was bots for a while. It actually might be bots, and they just picked out red ones, but it also could be carnelian from Jaipur. Some of it has the geodes. I've been recently getting really into agates. And I do believe that these are from Jaipur. There's no sign for these ones, but yeah, been getting into agate because of sweet gem. And a lot of people do not like the quartz innards. They want to see this. They want the organic agate bands and shadowing. When I had the great pleasure of working for Highland Park for a year at Tucson, I learned so much from the people they were sharing a booth with about agates, and I wish I remember the people's names. Kind of lost touch a bit with Sherman Rawl, and I'd love to talk to him some more and find out who that person was who was working there with them, because he's an agate genius, and I'd love to talk to him more. I just noticed this. So they used like a bronze or a brass particles in between all the agate, which is cool. You see that done with block a lot. In fact, that would make a really cool block, like carnelian. The problem is if it's too thin, it becomes translucent. It looks weird. I used to be chipping like crazy when I first started as a lapidary, and I found out the hard way that like rose quartz doesn't work. Even a darker amethyst won't work because when it's thinner, it loses all its color. This almost looks like agate from Montana, but I can guarantee you it is foreign. Still beautiful nonetheless. Whoever's making these are really good. I wonder, did they add this after they bought it? Because it kind of matches the architectural design, the rivets and stuff. Is this an old building? I don't know. Savannah, Georgia has some deep history for sure. Check that out. It's a big piece with some saginite. Saginetic spray. All right, so they do have some boutiques in here and stuff. Just 2 heat-treated amethysts on the outside. I wonder if they're new, and the reason why I'm even bothering to film this is because there's a B52 kilos. Okay, is that kilo? Oh, that's an 852. It's definitely not 852,000. This thing is probably worth maybe $4,000 to $5,000. Good luck shipping it. But yeah, what is the 852K? I suspect it's 852 kilos. That just makes sense. Like, does it look like 1,704 pounds? Yes. Wait. Yeah, that's the number. My math is always so bad. Sweet Jim was telling me my math is often wrong on the channel. These little calcites are cool. Very cool. Looks like little styrofoam popcorns. Can't do any cool panning tricks without the gimbal, but it's working out pretty well. Very nice. This video is brought to you in part by Cutting Edge Supply Company. Cutting Edge Supply is your one-stop shop for all things lapidary and jewelry making tools. Cutting Edge Supply Company has a wide selection of lapidary equipment, jewelry making tools, findings, gemstone rough, and much, much more. Cutting Edge Supply is a company ran by jewelers and lapidaries for jewelers and lapidaries. Check out Cutting Edge Supply. I love them, and you will too. Make sure to use product code LapidaryDave in checkout to directly support the channel. All right, so these crystal displays are actually really cool. Some Brazilian and Uruguay material, but they're definitely not run-of-the-mill. Some of the stuff like this, where it's calcite and then amethyst over the calcite again. Is that, what do they call that? Like overgrowth or something? I don't know. But these are just really good specimens. Fantastic. There's no information on locale on these little signs. Just tells you what we already know. Amethyst with calcite deposits. This is calcium deposit. Is that weird? So this one is one of my favorites. The light does not do it justice. Put in the camera. Huge calcite crystal there. But I love this strip going through, and it goes all the way to the side. I think it's been repaired, maybe naturally, and then healed, but maybe not. So there's like a band playing around the corner here in this hotel. This place rocks. I cannot afford to stay in a hotel like this, but it's ripping. It's a party here in Savannah, Georgia. All right, so clear quartz, most likely Brazilian, reshaped. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I was talking to some people earlier on why would it matter if it's shaped or not. Like, this was never terminated, you know? Or if it hasn't been for a long time, and it didn't look like this. This is just like a big chunk of quartz that they shape into a crystal and then polish it. Would that affect value? Yeah, absolutely, because it wasn't from nature. You'll get really, really fine tips and such, but it's not natural. I mean, isn't that what you're paying for, nature? You gotta want to know that it's whatever, but it looks beautiful nonetheless. Oh, this is really cool. This is a piece of petrified wood. Yeah. Log. It would be a really nice sink. Those right there, guess who those sculptures are made by? Those are made by Z in Tucson. I know I could spot those a mile away. We'll take a look at Z's gemscapes earlier. I didn't know they were in here. But yeah, it's super refreshing to see. What a coincidence. I love Z. It's cool to see your friend's art somewhere that's not the Tucson show. This one's pretty cool. Again, it's been cut and they had to polish that. Could have broke. And I like when they roll it back. We were talking about that earlier. So these are actually, these points are a mix of natural and non-natural points. Like, this is not natural, this chisel tip. But some of this surface isn't natural, but like this one is. You can see some of the patterning from the natural termination. Very cool. Is it from Arkansas? Maybe. This one is stunning. Nice. Out of all of these, this one is my favorite. It's so cool. It's quartz crystal growing over the calcite. Tons of druzy. And then what they call spirit quartz, right? Kind of looks like stalactite or stalagmite, but I just think it's just crystal overgrowth. I like the saw marks right there. It looks really good. The agate's nice and thick. This piece is absolutely amazing. And the druzy is just totally bad to the bone. I wish I had my gimbal here so I could show it to you better, folks, but hopefully you enjoy it anyway. Nice big piece in the middle. I have had people tell me, oh, they're adding these sometimes, and yeah, I believe it. It makes sense, but I think these ones are natural. That is just totally cool. Looks like they have like some septarian and muscovite down there. Is that stuff that they sell? I don't know. Are they swapping out specimens? I mean, I know some of them are new. They haven't even removed the weight from those citrines over there. These are cool. Some lady said that she wanted to crawl in there and take a nap and live in it. That's what I always say about these little beds of amethyst. Close the lid on your way out for sure. So super cool. So over. All right, let's walk on down here before we go down there to check out Z's work. This is Campo meteorite from El Campo. Sweet Jim has a nice big piece of this. When people have bigger meteorites, these are usually the type that they have. These are just a little bit more abundant in that large size. Still really valuable. I saw this going for about $1 a gram at the Tucson show. That would probably make that piece right there well over 10 grand. Even after buying in bulk. This other variation, I kind of like a little bit more. This is kind of like what you think of when you think of space rock. There's great stories of ancient like Eskimos. Actually, yeah, even, I think it was Eskimos. That they would, people would claim that they had iron tools. And the way they did that, since they weren't working iron, is meteorites. King Tut had a knife made out of meteorite well before they were working iron. Although I think they were working iron for a lot longer than people think they have. Beautiful mammoth tusks. Super nice quality. Kind of looks like they're coated in something. Do they do that to stabilize it, to keep it from falling apart? I don't really know. Here's another one. It's matching pair. And we'll come over here to show you both of them if we can. Oh yeah. That's really good. I'm gonna have to get out of this wide angle to show you some of the detail. Here's a really cool cave bear. Is this what they call the short tail bear? Or was it long tail bear? I don't know, you tell me. But it looks really good. Is it natural? Maybe. I don't know. All right, we're at a wide angle so we can zoom in. Great color on the teeth. Someone at the gem show I was at, the Victor Valley Rock Tailgate, told me that you needed special paperwork to have bear teeth. Like the way, you need special paperwork to have bird of prey feathers, to have tortoiseshell and whatnot. I don't know if that's true, because people hunt bears all the time, where you're usually not allowed to hunt the animals that they're protecting, like raptors and sea turtles and whatnot. You know, eagles. You don't hunt eagles, and you're not allowed to have their feathers unless you're card-carrying Native American and other religious faiths and cultures and such that have the paperwork for it. So I don't know if the bear tooth story is true. I wasn't gonna say that. I don't want him to feel like his bear tooth isn't as cool as he thinks it is. This is cool. This is a straight up casting. They add the teeth, but the shape and the crocodile head itself is not natural. You can see here sometimes, this isn't a dead giveaway, but when you look right there, you can see the plaster and that it is all one piece. They do actually cut out some of it and they plaster it to take it for processing so it doesn't fall apart. But in this case, this is a casting. Still really nice, still worth several $100s, but you know, not the tens of thousands like you would expect. Very, very cool crocodile from Morocco. You see a lot of the castings out of Morocco. There's a spinodon right behind me, that the same thing. The teeth are real, but the rest is not real. And it's a casting at best, but they have the real teeth. Yeah, you see that a lot with Moroccan fossils. These trilobites are super cool. I really like that guy right there. He's having a blast. I really like what they did with the side of this one. They kind of added some textures to the cut, makes him look like he's on some kind of coral or something. But they actually just cut it like that to look like that. Very cool. This one's a sweetie too. Nice iron impression fossil. Are all of these impressions, these trilobites, and they actually just carved it to make it look like it was coming out, and it's no deeper than like a few millimeters. And I've definitely seen at the Tucson show fossils that were just made, like they just carved stone and made the fossil. It wasn't real. Still beautiful nonetheless, you know. All right, we're gonna go downstairs now. Starting off with Z's Gemscapes. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, Z is an amazing artist. I believe he used to be out of Tucson, Arizona. I think he's in Nogales, Mexico now. But these Gemscapes are made by Z's. These are undeniable. When you see these, I mean, you know they're Z's. A mile away. A nice Stegosaurus. Very super cool. Doesn't look full grown. I've never seen one in the wild, but I think I've seen some fossils and that one looks kind of small compared to others. Very cool. So copper. These are from Michigan. I thought maybe they were from China, but I did see a plaque that said that these ones were from Michigan. Very cool. Over here, they have a nice, cool display set up on the wall of different minerals and specimens. Well, pieces. This penolith, though, penolite or penolith, I don't know which one exactly it is, but doesn't it look like some feathers there? Like pieces of a headdress. This is an amazing piece. At first I thought it was an Orthoceras setup, but it's definitely penolith or penolite. I don't know. This is great. Kind of looks like a snowy mountain. Little pieces of calcite. Totally stunning. They have a few of these here. This, I thought it was fluorite, but it's actually prehnite. Just not used to seeing crystallized prehnite like that. Some more Moroccan fossils and other freeform carvings. That crystal right there is definitely recut. Nice druzy over calcite. Uruguay material, but definitely unique. You won't find something like that at Village Originals, that's for sure. Super cool druzy Brazilian agate. I love the banding right there on the side. It's probably pretty deep in there. No way for me to really show you. But yeah, the druzies are super fantastic. Nice quartz crystals. Those are some nice heat-treated amethysts up there. They're really pretty. Oh, how many times a day do you have to wipe it?
Oh, shoot.
Because the kids.
3 or 4 times.
Oh, yes, ma'am. So some more Michigan copper there. This is an apophyllite from India. Kind of looks like quartz, super soft. Mineral crystals. This is nice. The tip's recut, but it's still beautiful. That is a great copper piece there. Sorry, I don't have an ND filter. It's been 5 years now. I should definitely have an ND filter. Here's a beautiful rhodonite. I don't know if you can tell that it's pink at all. I had a friend recently who bought a $100 slab of toolite. It was sold to him as toolite, but it was actually a rhodonite. There's a lot of this stuff out of Silverton, Colorado. When it's in nature, it's just a black rock. So you have to get used to knowing what to look for. Super cool. Over here is just some more gem thingies. I wanted to show you this big slab of malachite, but it's near the bathroom. Let's try anyway. Alright, so for obvious reasons I can't just stand there and film that malachite display. It is a composite, but it's really cool. In Russia, there's these pillars that are actually made out of solid malachite and azurite. I think they're in St. Petersburg. I can't wait to go over there and check them out myself and to play some music with the Russians. That'd be cool. But yeah, so here's a picture. Anyway, these are some ammonites, not to be confused with ammonite, which is that colorful one over there. These are just as cool in my opinion. Some of these have some beautiful calcite inside of them. These can be pyritized. I don't know if ammonites can be pyritized. What I really like is the stuff coming out of Mexico and Hong Kong. It's the same Moroccan ammonite, but they're taking these pits here and they're filling them with chip inlay and making some stunning cabochons. This shape is not natural. This is a composite, as you can see here. And they actually just shaped it into the shape of an ammonite. But it's still beautiful. I mean, it's made up of ammonites. And it's a nice, perfect shape. They do really good work in Morocco. Here's another one. This is also a composite. This is not a natural one. But this one's cool. It uses some heat-treated amethyst on these little vugs, these cool little drusies. They put some dirt down in there. These are really cool, even though they're not really giant ammonites. In a way, they're even cooler than regular ammonite. And believe it or not, this is actually an amethyst. It's green amethyst. I believe that means it's usually in nature it would be like chloride that would turn it green. In this case, these are treated to be green. Much like the way they do with the citrine, they just have a process that makes them green or whatever color they want to do. It looks like, okay, these sides are what it actually looks like natural before they paint it. I think it looks great. But again, sometimes it's actually to stabilize the material to keep it from falling apart. 2, what does that mean? Oh yeah, you can see here where it's painted, where it's not painted. Let's take a look at this one right here. It has a good example of the paint. I've heard that the paint is like has fiberglass in it. This one's like falling apart. Really cool. But it happens. Do they repaint it after a while? I've seen people do it at the Tucson show, probably because they didn't have time to finish it. But it's really lovely nonetheless. There was a lady here saying that Mr. Kessler has a few 500,000 plus, a few pianos worth over $500,000. I don't know if this is one of them. I guess he has 2 of a set of 5 that are kind of like Stradivarius of the piano world. I'd love to check it out, actually. So they have someone that comes and plays them. These are not just for anybody. I was actually taking it off earlier. Not when the lady was around, but when I was doing my live video. I'm happy that I'd never got it off. I was going to get somebody to sing and I was going to play something, but I'm happy we didn't get that far. I would definitely not want to get yelled at by Mr. Kessler or his folks. Anyway, so that was this place. There is some more stuff around the corner. Just mostly like these walls and stuff. If you're ever in Savannah, Georgia, come check it out. It's worth it for sure. They have a few things in their gift shop, nothing too spectacular. But it looks cool. It's definitely worth it. JW Marriott in Savannah, Georgia.